everybody else's energy and learning from everybody's experiences. Also the amazing teachers that they bring to us. But we're super excited, and we were able to finally start using Command the way it should be used. Thank you, Mondo, for that. We have an open house this weekend that we're doing.
Good.
And we're putting everything, all the nuggets, that Thomas and all the teachers share, and we're putting that into place right now. So we're just super excited.
Good, good. That's great. That's great. What challenges is anybody encountering right now? Anybody have any challenges that you might be dealing with? Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's the time it takes to organize the database and tag my clients with the different levels that they are at.
Right.
Creating the opportunities and track all of that.
Right.
The follow-up, and still having a lot of people that's still not in my database yet.
Right.
But I still need to do business at the same time. It's almost
Right.
like I need an assistant to do stuff like that, right? But I'm not, financially there
Right.
in enough a business yet.
Right.
But I see when that becomes really valuable. But
Right.
definitely, I think the key here is to organize your time and do
Right.
different things. Because at one time I felt I'm wasting too much time putting people in the database. I need to be calling somebody, so I start doing. So I got 3 possible businesses coming my way, but at the same time I continue to do my lead follow up and put it all in the database. So yeah, a bit challenging, but with the information that we get, I'm also super excited with the business, and I am confident that this is giving me what I need to maintain a long time relationship with my sphere of influence, with everyone that I contact. That's how I see it. I don't see it as a person I just want to contact and sell real estate. I want to establish a relationship because that's what this is teaching me. So I love the approach that they're giving me.
Right. So little tidbits about organizing your contacts. I start my days very early. Sarah might know that. I have my alarm system. We went to family reunion together. I start my day very, very early. Most of your top producers will begin their days around 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. I would say time management and time blocking, reorganize your time, train yourself to get up early, start early, because after all, the early birds catch worms. So I would say that if you're struggling to try to find that time to put your leads and contacts together in Command, maybe allow yourself 3 or 4 a day, and do it in the mornings, early in the mornings while you're having your coffee. Start your day with purpose. That way you're systematically doing that, and it's becoming a habit. And then once you do that, it just makes your life a lot more easier and more organized. And then you could also do the same thing as when you're after your open houses or whatever activity that you're doing when you're trying to collect new leads. Make sure you take some notes when you have, like for instance, at an open house. Have your open house booklet, your forms or whatever, and after each family that you talk to, make notes about your conversations, little tidbits that you grabbed about those clients. And then when you get back home from your open house after you've relaxed or had something to eat, then go in there and add them into your Command. So that way you're a little bit more organized and set them up on a touch plan or whatever it is that you need to do, for your follow-up system. So I would say organizing your contact management is very key. And if you set aside a time and do time blocking, it's going to help you get through the day and get through the week.
One of my challenges is whenever someone does show up at your open house, they give you fake information. So you get a fake, when you go home, you go call the clients the next day. They got disconnected phone numbers, they got email addresses that's not in existence and stuff like that. So what would you say on that challenge?
Well, we're all going to get those.
Okay.
It's, a lot of them are,
showed me a thing where you can tap your phone, like an iPhone, and get their actual information. Should I try
You can. Sometimes they're just not comfortable, and most times they're actually not comfortable doing that. I mean, I'm very old school. I would like to have a conversation and build that trust right away. give them a little bit of space to enjoy the home, get them to come back to where I'm at, where the forms are, get them to give me a little bit more information, ask permission to see if I can get their phone number and their email address, and ask that permission if you can reach out to them, because it makes it so much easier. It makes them feel like, okay, I have a little bit more control. She's not like begging, she's asking, and then they're gonna either say yes or they're gonna say no, you know? So I would say when you're in those situations where when you're lead generation at your open houses, just be authentic and have that sense, give them that sense of comfortable, you know, trust. And they'll most likely be willing to give you something, and they'll be more truthful. I just say, put it back on them, and it's either they're gonna give you the information or they're not. You know,
It
you can't.
requires us to get them to sign in nowadays.
Sometimes, yeah, that's challenging.
If I may, Joy, I had another agent actually ask me this question yesterday, or communicate that was a hurdle that she was coming across. And I shared with her, one of the things that I do at my open house, once they sign in and they have that information, I then, before I let them go, because I set up my table where I am their first point of contact, and you're not getting through me until I have your information. That's just the way it's set up, right? So I grab the clipboard, and then I say, okay, Mike, I'm having trouble seeing this. Go ahead and read back your number. I just want to make sure I have it written down. If it's fake, that number that they're about to give you is completely different from what they wrote. Now they're giving you the real number. Oh, okay, not a problem. Say that again, blah, 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 blah. And I write it down. And your email address, I have them say it to me, because that's how you know when it's fake or not.
Another great way to get their information is have a giveaway.
Yep.
When you have a drawing at one of your open houses, it could be as simple as a coffee gift card or a coffee mug with a gift card, or something that's seasonal for, let's say, for instance, Easter's coming around, or whatever, small little Easter, whatever it is, go around the seasons of what's happening. Everybody wants free stuff. So if you have a little raffle where there's little raffle tickets, if they're not wanting to sign that and they want to do that, they want free stuff, they're going to want that giveaway, because you know they'll put that information and you'll likely get the correct information. So a lot of times I do giveaways at
You get those little tickets at
That's great.
Walmart or something.
yeah, you just do a little thing. They're gonna have to fill out their name. They're gonna have to give a phone number, because they're gonna want that phone call. They're gonna want to be that phone call to be aware. And you know what? I'm necessarily not just do a random drawing. I actually purposely pick the one that I know that I can convert that lead into a real client or customer, a future customer. I will purposely and intentionally pick my winner. They don't need to know that you're drawing. I will purposely pick the best lead that I got out of the bunch and make them that winner, because guess what? Now I get to go back over to their home, deliver their present or whatever they're winning present, have a conversation, build that relationship, and make them feel like, oh my gosh, I won, you know, something. And now you've got more information. Maybe now you have an address, because now you have to deliver the gift over to them. You're going to have an email address or whatever. So now you have that one extra means of attempting to get in touch with them. So I'm very purposeful when it comes to my open houses or my giveaways. And you're just going to have to just like maybe change a little bit more, and that way you're getting more information. And honestly, it works, because I have converted winners from my open houses to clients that have closed. So that's just a little tip on that.
Thank you.
How
That's a
do you
good
be that sneaky and do it? How do you pick them?
Oh, I just, by having my conversations at the open house.
But if you have tickets, how do you draw that ticket for the winner?
Because I know that they're the ones that I would want to engage in having a future client. So when you're in an open house and you're having conversations and you're noticing that somebody might be hanging around a little bit longer, really, you know, marveling the home, having that cup of coffee, because I always have coffee, I always have water, I always have snacks, cupcakes, donuts, whatever. I do a full spread at my open houses. I want them to stay, you know, so I give them a treat, you know, to make them stay a little bit longer. And that gives me an opportunity to actually have conversations with them. If I'm noticing that they're going back to a certain part of the home, I start to have conversations. When I ask certain questions, that gives me information that I feel like, you know, I can engage more deeper in getting more information out of them, and finding out what their needs and wants are by asking questions like, you know, so I noticed that you keep going back over to this pool. Is that something that you really are wanting to have? And they'll say yes. Or I've noticed that you've been spending a lot of time in this bonus room or game room on? Is there something that maybe, are you looking for something for multi-generational? Do you have an in-law moving in with a home? They're like, as a matter of fact, yes. And so ask those questions, and they will give you more information and engage in that conversation and just say, okay, well, what are your thoughts about this house? Well, this one maybe not, it's not gonna work so much, maybe something else is, well, that's when you're gonna have that aha moment. Make sure you have that information. I'll tell you what, after this open house, how do you feel about me sending you maybe some other alternate options of houses that might be of interest to you, that might work for you, that would fit your criteria? And then now you're gonna put them in a drip system, and maybe you're gonna start building that relationship. We're gonna do the follow-ups and the touches, and then you're gonna convert them and build that rapport and that trust to convert them to an actual client. And then you get into contract, and then you close. So those are the types of people that I will intentionally make my winner. When I have those conversations, those kind of people are gonna be my winner. Now, if there's going to be multiple clients that is really busy, that are very engaging, maybe I'll just all of a sudden have another winner, because maybe I'll go get another gift card and then make them, because they're not gonna know that somebody else won unless you're gonna post it on social media or something like that. But, just be a little more intentional and purposeful and find a way to do it. And let me tell you, when you do those kind of things, they're gonna be willing to wanna give you that information. They're gonna wanna win, and then it could be a win-win for all, both you and your client. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so course review. So we have 4 segments. We've got the real estate expert. We had the lead generation. Right now we are in the lead follow-up section with sessions 12, strengthening relationships. And then, did you have any takeaways from the previous course? I mean, we probably mixed our classes up. I think Thomas jumped over to the last segment. Did you have anything that was an aha for you for the follow-up leads? At that time, if you can recall that chapter, the one before this one. Anything you'd like to share?
Follow up with the lead at least 12 times before we give up on that lead.
Okay. Yeah, eventually there's a point in time that you're gonna have to cut them, because you're just chasing ghosts. That's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen a lot. It happens to anyone. Any agent.
And something I wanna add to that is like, when we say give up on a lead after trying to contact them for the 12th time, it's a person we don't have a relationship with,
Yes,
right? Because it's a friend of us. We keep reminding them that we're still in business. I have a friend of mine from San Fernando Valley that I used to volunteer in the school. So she was in charge of the parent group, the PTA. So we have a good relationship, but she never do business with me. However, after 10 years, she started referring business to me.
Yes, so that does happen. There are times where you can convert your leads into something right away, but a lot of times the leads that you have, that you're working, or your mets that you have that you're working, sometimes it could take months. It could take years before you see the fruits of your labor. The best thing that I could say is just to stay in touch, and as long as you're engaging in that conversation back and forth, they want to stay in your lives. They just may not be ready now, but they'll have something for you, whether it's them or it's a family or friend, because you're building your relationship, and you're building that trust that can turn into a transaction. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to be establishing the mindset. We're going to identify the goals. We're going to devise the plan, recap the ahas, and then have your daily success system. We're going to apply follow-up principles for leads to contacts. We're going to create a 36 to convert touch plan. We're going to design and use a MOFR, messages that generates interest. What is a MOFR? Does anybody know what the MOFR is, or remember what a MOFR is?
Offer something that they really want so that they can give you an immediate response.
Yes, making offers for immediate response. And then we're going to develop a strategy to grow the number of contacts to their database. you want to learn today. Maybe throughout the classes, you might want to write down some questions that you might want to ask. Maybe perhaps during this segment, we'll answer those questions, through the, and if not, then afterwards we can go over that for you guys. Okay? Okay. Establishing the mindset. What mindset do we need to adapt to successfully to nurture relationships with contacts? Anyone?
I like to think of,
What kind of a mindset do you need to have to adapt to success?
that everybody's a potential contact, not a contact, but a potential lead and a potential customer.
Yes, you have to have clarity, right? You gotta have clarity on that. You gotta have focus. I would say you want to be intentional. You have to have purpose. Some of those things are what you need to establish in your mindset. You gotta be in the right mindset. Would you say that people work with agents whose emotional proximity to them is the strongest at the time they are ready to transact? I would say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. What can we control? Can we influence our emotional proximity to the people in our world through our follow-up by controlling the frequency and intensity of our follow-up?
Yes.
I would say yes. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Know the growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focused action. Gary Keller Shift. One of our books that we have with Gary Keller. I'm sure you've heard or maybe seen this before, but it's definitely resonating here. Okay. Does anybody remember this? I'm sure we've seen it in one of our office meetings about maybe a month ago. I don't know if you remember this. What do you guys call this?
Funnel.
Yeah, funnel. It's a funnel of what?
Leads database.
It's the lead generation database model.
I have my own funnel. I put a little bowl inside I have 5 gallons container. So I have it upside down. I put a white bowl inside of it and with the sticker name on outside the gallon, the container. So every time I close an straw, I put a bowl and get the stick for the lid and put it in there. So that's how I see how many contracts I've been touching through the quarter.
Right. I mean, we're all going to have some kind of a way to keep ourselves accountable or track whatever it is. I mean, obviously the best way to do it is in command, but sometimes a simple little thing like that.
No, because it's something I can see and I
Yeah.
can visual.
Right,
It's a
right.
visual motivation.
Everybody does things differently. You got to do what's going to work for you. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, yesterday we worked on, the last chapter we worked on the tools to convert leads. As a reminder, we prospect and market to bring leads and contacts into our database. Let's review. How do we define the difference between a lead and a contact? What is the difference?
A lead is a name and a number. A contact is a person that we have a two-way conversation.
Yes. Very good. Very, very good. Now, share some ideas moving to the next slide and review the definition. What ideas do you think you might have what would you do to have to get those leads to build those conversations into a two-way? What things can you do? What activities would you say you are doing? What's working for you guys?
You can do different things, like if you have on social media, sometimes you post something, somebody reacts to it, make sure that you comment back on their comment and say, I appreciate it, I really agree with you. You can establish a conversation, all of a sudden there's more to follow. And just make sure that you always answer. It's one of the things that they taught us here also through Ignite. That don't leave a post or a comment, like it, comment on it, continue that because that can build a relationship. That's one way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, another way is just following up and using the four method with your sphere of influence.
Right.
You know, I haven't called somebody, so let me call and see how they're doing. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then try to see if they have any interest in real estate, or they know anybody, or they can refer somebody. That way, you keep it purposeful,
Right.
and you know, you start getting into two-way conversation. Now it's
Right.
not just a deed. Now it's a relationship.
Right, yeah, that's one way. Social media, that's a huge way of building rapport, building relationships, having two-way conversations, not just liking and putting emojis or whatever, actually commenting, engaging in a social media conversation. Open houses is a great way for doing a two-way conversation. What else can you do?
Floor time.
Floor time? Yeah, you can if you get a good lead that is like wanting to do, you know, to have that conversation with you because they're calling in or walking in for assistance. What else can you do?
Common interest things, hobbies,
Yes.
Yes.
etc.
That's a great thing. Yeah, that's a great way of meeting people. What else? Door knocking?
Door knocking.
Door
Does
knocking.
anybody still door knock around here?
We're doing it today.
Yes.
For your open houses, right?
Today, tomorrow, Saturday
That's
morning.
what you do. Yeah. Yeah. How many are you door knocking?
100. So
Wow.
I'm printing 100 color, we're printing 100 color flyers, and we're not going home until 50 are given out today and 50 tomorrow.
Good
and
job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you call one of the 7-level open houses. Do you do the 7-level open house?
Try.
Yeah.
It is challenging.
we like striving to
Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the point is you're doing the activities.
Yes.
You're not just putting a sign out and then hoping that somebody's gonna show up. You gotta be very proactive.
Yeah.
To finding those leads and getting people to come. It's when you get people to come, you know, is where you're gonna be engaging in those conversations, creating those two-way conversations.
Right.
Building trust and relationships with those people that you can turn into a client.
And just
So-
like Alex last night, just opening up your mouth, because we went late. Okay, as you guys know, I'm like addicted to these Starbucks. But we're gonna be giving away, we have a wheel, right, at the open house.
Mhm.
And they're gonna be $5 Starbucks gift cards.
Mhm.
So we went in there and the girl, how many did you buy? 20 cards. And so she was like, what are you guys doing? You know, she was curious.
Right.
And so Alex just boom, 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 and started telling her, not only do we have someone now who's, she's like, oh, like I, may know somebody that can benefit from attending the open house, but you know what? I want to get my real estate license. So I was able then to pitch my business, which is the school behind me, Smart Move, and get another student for the next session like that. So it's just opening up your mouth wherever you go.
Yeah, having conversations. Don't be that secret agent.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be that silent agent. We've got to have conversations, People need to know that you're in this business to help families.
I heard the joke that about Christian is that if somebody trying to convict you for being a Christian, I don't think they're gonna find any evidence against you. So they think wait as an agent.
Right. Okay, we're gonna focus on building relationships and take market share. We all intend to be successful. As real estate professional, success is built on relationships. As one top agent said from the stage of the Red Top, focus on building relationships and take market share. Building relationships is not easy.
No.
It can take a very long time to build that trust. It can take a very long time to build that relationship, have that conversation. You might have to reach out to them several times, 12 times before you finally get one return phone call or text message. It takes a lot of attempts, to do that. So it takes a lot of work. Okay, so we are definitely going to be starting with the mindset. Today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction price.
Yeah.
That is definitely a very, very big thing.
Today conversation is like
And if you've noticed, what do I see in this picture here? I see
plants and watering.
You nurture
Watering,
it.
nurturing.
Right. You gotta build your database, you gotta feed your database with leads, then you got to water them, fertilize them, keep them going, keep them growing, and then eventually you're gonna harvest the fruits of your labor. So it's like the cycle of life when you're dealing with your leads. Okay, once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever. Forever. When I work with my clients, they're my clients for life. I make sure I tell them that too. So whenever I close a transaction, it's not the end of my transaction, my relationship with them. I stay in touch. I have a system after the closing, to follow up with them immediately. Stopping by, giving them a closing gift. In the closing gift, putting another card. Making sure that I say, you're a realtor for life, and mean it, so. And I stay in touch constantly. I always want to make sure that I'm on their social media, they're on my social media, they're following me, I'm following them. I'm engaging in their lives. I'm staying purposeful. Like, for instance, today I have a card in my purse. I had a client that's active duty military, and he just got a promotion in his ranking to E8, which is a pretty big deal in the enlisted of the military. So I am going to, he was doing all of his praises, showing all of his videos and whatnot of his promotion. So I am sending him a congratulations card. Just stay focused like that. Those are the little tiny little things that you want to do with your clients, because they don't forget that. They'll always remember you. They want to feel special, and they know that you're going out of your way, to stay in touch with them. Even though you don't have to, but by doing so, it makes them feel special. It is always constantly keeping you top of mind, and building that relationship. And I can tell you, it's a wonderful thing, because they're going to always reciprocate. They want to help you. They're going to help you, by staying in touch constantly. That's just what I'll have to say. Decide today to commit to nurturing your lead in your database. I would say start now if you haven't done so, and then do it all the time. Okay, identifying the goals. Take a look at this graph and compare it to the wave graph, where every person in your database is on the wave of being ready to buy. In this graph, we have the lead generation phase on the left, where you can gathering and storing leads rather quickly. In fact, you can generate leads in days or weeks. On the right end of the graph, you are busy with the transaction process, which can last for 2 weeks or 2 months. It could also be 7 or 10 years. Does it make sense how important lead follow-up is, especially since it can take up to 10 years?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, what is the average time frame that a homeowner, after they buy a home, when do they need to sell again? What's the average time?
Between 5 to 10
years.
7 to 10 years. I think they actually changed that to 11 years lately, recently, but yeah, it could be 7 to 10 years. I would say 7 to 11 years. Yeah. Prices of homes and interest rates are making people stay in their houses much longer now.
Yeah, now,
They're like really married to that rate that they had when they purchased their homes in the early 20s, in 2020, 2021, 2022. We saw the rate hikes in 2022.
So far I was not able right now in this market to be able to stay with a clean conscience to older couple who has a lower rate, who wants to downsize, to say yes, you're gonna be better in you downsizing, because I know that the payment gonna be the same or higher. It depends where they.
But if you have a lot of equity, probably will make sense to move them, especially to a new build where they don't have to worry for years about any repairs.
Right.
They can always
And
refinance.
that's the way. That's where your craft comes in.
Yeah, they're willing to relocate because, let's say, that somebody who wants to stay in the same neighborhood. That's that.
that's when you're gonna have to educate yourself with your business partner, your lenders, and really learn about products and rates and stay on top of that. Find ways to, like, if this is something that really we need, but yet they're not sure if it's something that they can achieve and obtain because pricing with rates, pricing with homes, you really gotta dive deep and run all the numbers based on their equity they have and see what they could do, you know, because there is opportunities out there still.
Yeah.
It's just up to them, do they wanna take that opportunity? Are they
Yeah.
ready to?
Yeah.
You know, but it's gonna be also up to you to show them what
Yeah.
their options are.
You have to inform them what is it gonna look like by, giving them the information, and if that's something that makes sense, let them make the decision.
Right.
But at the same time, you might think, oh, this might not work for them, and that's a problem that I always have, that I always answer my own question.
Uh-huh.
And my wife always gets my case for that. So let them make that decision
Right.
and say, no, as a matter of fact, actually, I think I can do that. You might be surprised.
Yeah, you gotta be the one that educates them and give them all their options for them to make the most logical decision that's gonna be best for their family. Yeah, I mean, so if they're like mentioning it, have that conversation and then create a option plan for them so that they can make the decision. And it may not be today, it may
Right.
be another time, or maybe something happens in their lives where they gotta make that decision now.
Because
But at
you
least now they had that conversation with you.
Yeah, also because if you show them that you care, you give them the information and let them make the decision, at the same time you're showing them, you're giving them the information, and you show that you care, and so you maintain that relationship for maybe an even later business when it makes sense for them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to burn it like, oh.
I told them, this is our couple, I tell them, right now, I don't see what I can get you a better home in this same neighborhood. And you're gonna be ended up with the same payment, similar, because yes, I know I am on top of the programs, what is available out there. And they, you're gonna be all ended up with the same, almost the same mortgage payment with a smaller home. So the good thing that they have a downstairs bedroom with a bathroom, so
Right.
they still.
I'll share you one of my experiences. I had recently closed a transaction with a buyer that was referred to me from a past client. Turns out that this client had already been in contact with 2 other agents, not knowing anything about the business, very new to this country, doesn't know the ways of real estate and agency relationships with agents, and didn't even know what they were signing because, let me tell you something, these 2 agents that had been in contact with my client, they did not educate them about the process. And I have to tell, it was an eye-opener for me to just show me that we all need to be doing a better job of telling us what we do and how we represent our clients. And because those 2 agents made a very big critical mistake by not filling out their buyer-broker agreement, both of them, I managed to get that client and give them a presentation, a proper presentation about the buyer-broker agreement and explain agency. I got them, and not only did I get them, I was able to close on them. And give them a better deal and a better option because those 2 agents were all commission hungry. Sell them the highest house, get them the highest commission, whatever it was. And I said, you know what? I said, because luckily for you today, I go, both of the agents did not give you the proper presentation and sign the agreement, and they messed up. That's their loss. I go, you're lucky today that I'm sitting here with you because you could be sued for procuring costs from one agent, if you close on this one transaction with the other agent, because what they did was, they had one agent that they contacted on Realtor.com, show them houses. They didn't have a proper consultation. They just met them at houses and started showing houses. They didn't even pre-qualify them. Just show them houses. That was agent number 1. Show them homes. Agent number 2, they saw on Zillow. They called that agent to write an offer on one of the houses that they saw with agent number 1. That agent didn't have agency relationship. They just wrote an offer that they never showed the house and wrote the offer and be like, oh, this is fast and easy. They're just calling me on Zillow. I'm going to go ahead and write the offer. Didn't ask questions. Didn't ask them if they were pre-qualified. Didn't ask them if they signed anything with anyone. Didn't ask those questions, just wrote the offer, and then at the back end of the offer threw in the buyer broker agreement, but luckily they didn't sign that correct, they didn't fill that out. Then agent number 1 is asking them if they're ready to write an offer or whatever, so they write up an offer on the same house that agent number 2 wrote up the offer.
Wow.
And that's when I got the phone call. So these poor buyers got themselves in a very big pickle. And I'm like trying to think to myself, oh my gosh, this sounds like a big mess. I said, this is what needs to go down, and what I need you to do is email me what agent number A sent you to sign. Email me what you signed with agent number 2. I need to look at what you're signing, and I need to see what you're trying to buy and figure this all out. Well, found out that obviously both, agent number 1 was the procuring cause. They're the ones that showed the house, that agent number 2. So I said, this agent can sue you for commission because he was the procuring cause. Agent number 2 could sue you for commission if you accept the offer and open escrow, because this agent number 1 might be suing you you might be paying 2 commissions. And I said, how much do you like this house? And they said, not really a whole lot if I have to pay for a commission to another $18,000 commission to that could be sued from agent number 1 that has a procuring cause. I said, you need to get out of this mess. I go, if you don't like this house and you want to retain my services, I'm going to come over to your house and I'm going to give you the proper buyer broker agreement, and we're going to create agency, and then I'm going to take you to brand new home builders that will give you a house that's cheaper than the resale market, that will get you a better rate, that will get you better pricing, that will get you concessions, that will give you everything that you're looking for that you didn't find with both of these agents, and then everything will be fine. So what happened was I went over there. I had a 3-hour consultation because they're a little bit they're new in this country, so I had to explain things. It took 3 hours to explain everything with them, but I was willing to do that. And then the next day we went out to go ahead and look at some houses. I only took them to 2 builders. I took them to KB Homes and I took them to K-Hub Nonian, and let them choose and see what they were looking, because they wanted West Side. But it both happens to be that the prices were a lot less than what the house of the resale home that they wrote the offer with those other agents. And it turns out that this was right before the holidays. So guess what happens during the holidays with builders? They want to throw in all the incentives in the world. We happened to catch them with a red tag sale. They dropped the price even lower. It was a special home feature. They were offering 3.99% interest rate fixed 30-year, offering $10,500 in closing costs, and then guess what on top of it? Because they wanted to get rid of this house so bad, they said they will throw in the solar and pay for it.
Wow.
We did that on Christmas Eve. That was their Christmas present. Yeah, that was their Christmas present.
Yes.
And they can't thank me enough, because not only was I saving them from a very big debacle of potential being sued by one agent, and then getting in a home that they really didn't even like, that were pushing their ratios with a very high price, and it had a lot of work that needed to be done. I got them into a brand new home with a rate and a payment that was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hundreds of dollars in monthly savings, and everything was brand new.
Yeah, that was an eye-opening for me when I started visiting the buildings last month. That we find brand new homes with better pricing, with better interest rate, and a lot of incentives. It depends on the builders.
I'm selling a lot of brand new homes right now because
I
their
just
deals are good right now.
I
You
just
know?
everyone.
And you don't have to put, I get them to go and show, and then they do all the work. However, I do stay in touch. I have one client that's constantly saying, okay, I got this. What is this? What is this? He comes to me for everything that he's getting from the lender and from the builder, which I'm completely fine with, you know? I'm completely fine with
Yeah,
that.
I told the builder to include me and CC me on all the emails, so if my client has any questions,
Yeah.
they can help.
If you want to be part and involved in that transaction, they'll let you be part of that
Yeah.
transaction involved and be there and receive all those emails. Yeah, definitely. Okay, our goal from session 11 was to convert leads to appointments, and we've learned that not every lead is able, ready, and willing to meet. When we encounter folks who are not ready for an appointment, we use follow-up to stay in contact until they are ready for an appointment. If you had to guess how many times you've agreed to be in someone's database when you were not ready to make a purchase, include all items you signed up for emails. I mean, has anybody done that? Like, have you saw something like maybe on Facebook, or you saw something that is offering some sort of like a discounted giveaway, and you signed up for it because you want that discount, but you never bought, and you just like, you saw something. I get that all the time. I see that. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I click on it, and all of a sudden I'm like getting all sorts of like spam stuff. But it's like,
But
it's constant.
Yeah.
That's like a follow-up. Because what they do is they're trying to get you to they want your business and whatnot. So,
but it's something that I am interested. Like right now, I am obsessed with my hair. So I receive information from the ads that I click on. So as long as I still interested, I allow them to send me information, because maybe one of these days I'm gonna be ready.
exactly. That's exactly how we need to implement our business. So, at one point in time, they came to you, or you approached them, or you got their information. So you're going to be feeding, follow-ups with them constantly, and eventually, something's going to stick. One day, it's either them or maybe a family member or a neighbor or coworker. They'll send you a referral or whatnot. Because sometimes, some of my very best clients are clients that I've never sold, or they never sold or bought a home from me. They're business owners that refer me business, so I do have a lot of that too as well. And that's something that could be added to your databases, by the way, is your business owners, your business partners, people that you know that could help you, because that is a big part of your database right there. So we've talked about Mindshare before and how important it is to be converting leads to contacts and contacts to appointments. Take a look at these stats. NAR states on the slide that 74 to 75% of all buyers and sellers spoke with just one agent before choosing them to represent them. Only 15% of them even considered more than one agent. That's huge, guys. 75% of all buyers only speak to one agent. What does that tell you?
You gotta be first.
Number one.
Number one.
That's why I get all excited about open houses, because I get all excited about, like, I want to be their first open house that they came to visit. Because let me tell you, if you are, I even asked them to go, how did you find this open house? Oh, through the signs. Have you been looking at other open houses? No, this is my first one. When I hear first one, I get so excited, because guess what I'm going to be sending them with? I'm going to have them sign, and I'll say, now when you go to the other open houses, here's my business cards. You can go ahead and hand them my business card and say, I'm working with this agent, so that way you don't have to repeat and refill all your information, because otherwise you'll be bombarded by 10 different agents. You want to be that first and only agent, because otherwise it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So, ask those questions at your open houses, how many other houses have they seen, and if it's your first, if it's their first one, take advantage of that opportunity, because that is a huge opportunity to capture them and keep them without having all these other agents calling them because they all went to different open houses. Just a tip.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. You need to stay in top of mind with buyers and sellers. Think of it as real estate. They think of you. That is the definition of Mindshare. So naturally, obviously you always want to be number one. You want to be their first point of contact, because 75% of the buyers and sellers only speak to one agent. Other 15 may be considering two. Just to handle that. So your odds are pretty good. When you follow that. Okay, identifying goals. Let's say here. Our clients never stop being contacts. We continue to nurture our relationship with them after the transaction to remain in emotional proximity and to help them share our value proposition. How many of you have asked a friend who they have to go to when looking for a new physician? I'm like, do you have people that contact them? Who do you use for your hairdresser? Who's your hairdresser? I need a new Or, you have a friend, neighbor comes over out to, who who painted your house? You know, I might be thinking about painting my house. What you want to do is you want to be that agent. You want to be that top of mind with everyone that you meet, you know. So that's very important to establish your identity, you know, be that recognition, be that go-to person, be that number one always when it comes to other people thinking about, you know, who's going to need to be in real estate. So you want to be constantly, you know, recognized.
Yeah.
That's very, very important.
That's something I offer to my clients who are relocating to the area, that they don't know nobody in the area, and I say, I know that you may have a contacts up there where you used to live, but if you ever need any plumber, painter, or whatever, call me. Whatever do you need, even if it's not related to real estate, just send me a text.
That's right. Yeah. You can offer other services and have contacts of other services, you know, to share, because now you're going to be that person of information. And sometimes being that person of information will show that person, like, gosh, this person really cares about my needs and wants, you know, and then maybe the next go around, all of a sudden you're going to get some business, referral. Because now you're going to be that person top of mind because you've helped them, you know, providing that additional information. For important purchases or of services and goods, it is natural to seek personal recommendations. Your contacts, especially the ones who have bought or sold with you, are a great source of future leads. Whenever I close a transaction, I always try to make it my number one priority to get them to do a review. I don't know about you guys or if any of you have closed new transactions. But to me, it's important that I get to know how they feel about the services that I have provided. And show that off. Let the whole world see that. You know, promote that on your social media. Because those are your testimonies from your clients. That's going to show the rest of the world, hey, this is what Joy is doing. Everybody's, you know, they're seeing it for themselves that somebody else's experience was great. So, you know, I would say, ask for those reviews. Push them to get those reviews is very, very important. You know? So don't ever be a secret. Let them know all the good things that you're doing so that way it can help, you know, they'll help you promote yourself, you know, through everything. It says here, if you are top of mind because you continue to follow up and give them amazing customer service, they will think of you first when somebody asks them for real estate advice. I would say that's so important. Customer service is everything. You know, you want to give, you want to be there for them during, you know, before when you're trying to get their leads, capture them into an actual contact and into a client. Service them through the entire transaction. Never forget about them. Follow up with them constantly. Communicate with them constantly. Close. Communicate with them constantly. Be in their lives. Make sure you try to get them to be your friend on Facebook. Follow them. So you're engaging and seeing what they're doing outside of the real estate market. You want to continue having that relationship with them afterwards. A lot of agents, they close and they forget. I mean, we all do that. But wouldn't it be wonderful if you had a system where after you close, you follow up and then you stay in touch with them by not just saying hi, but you're also engaging them on Facebook, or you're sending them emails, or you're sending them, or you see that they just celebrated an anniversary. Or how about this, during holidays, you see a special dream that they're making because they're going on a dream vacation. You kind of like always do the Ford rules through your whole entire after transactions. And you're staying in touch with them all the time. I mean, like, how about this? They just had a birthday. You know how we all just, we're kind of like engaged by technology only with birthdays? I don't know about you, but I don't get phone calls very often on my birthdays. I get text messages or Facebook, happy birthday with an emoji cake, you know, or whatever it is, you know, or something like that. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be that one person that actually calls them on their birthday instead? Makes them feel special, because we are all, honestly, we're just all engaged in technology, and it's just so much faster and easier to just say, happy birthday, happy face, boop. But why not call them? They're your clients, you know? it makes them feel very special that you're thinking of them on their special day. And I think we forget to do those things. And those little things, the old-fashioned ways are, I want to say, the best ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
In all honesty. Does anybody have any ahas at this time?
The relationship is, for me, relationship is more powerful than any gift that we can give them. Like you mentioned, say happy birthday on that special day. Be there on the moments that they're going through struggles. I always, when I see a post of one of my past clients or one of my friends on Facebook that they seem down, I automatically make a call. And if they don't answer, I say, I don't know what you're going through right now. I see your post, and I just want to let you know that I am here for you. Let me know if I can help you in anything.
Right. Use that to your advantage in a situation like that. Be the person that's going to follow them and phone call, or if someone had passed away,
Yes.
drop off something or deliver something to their home. Go the extra mile to show them that you care, because those little tiny things and those little tiny touches means a lot to them. And they may not express it, but they know, So that's all part of building your relationships and staying connected, and it just makes it more meaningful, and it builds a deeper relationship, so definitely. Okay, now that we have established the mindset and identified the goals, it's time to devise the plan. So, you had mentioned Ford. Ford is a huge thing. Does anybody know what the Ford is?
Yeah.
Family, occupation, relationship, and dreams. You have already created a foundation for a 36 to convert when they designed this 19 to connect touch plan in session 11. Your 36 to convert plan is a comprehensive program with different layers of input. It contains a mixture of phone calls, newsletters, events, market updates, home valuations, and other value-based products. The trick is to find what people are in the market value and to design your touches to match their value. You want to hit them on all cylinders. You want to not just do, Facebook or phone call or text or whatever. You want to reach out to them in so many different ways. And doing different things. I mean, I'm sure the biggest fear that you guys are probably having is like, gosh, 36 touches seems like a whole lot. Does it? I mean, are you guys saying that seems like a lot?
Because it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
Right. I mean,
It's a challenge.
that's in a whole year though. That's not like in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, that's a whole
that's all
year.
broken down in a whole year.
Right.
They say if you 36 touch your clients,
That is enough.
That's mixed with phone calls, newsletters, snail mail, emails, personal pop-bys, whatever, you could easily do your 36 touch. Like, for instance, right now, I am doing a client appreciation event. Sarah knows about this. We discussed this on our way up, what I'm going to do. Now I'm actually in action. I've already planned it. So I gave myself 3 months to plan my event. It's a client appreciation event for only my VIP clients. They're separated from the rest of my clients. My VIPs are ones that have provided me 2 closings or more, or 2 referrals that have closed or more. I have about maybe 100 people, 85 to 100 people in my database that are constantly, giving me business. I'm inviting those people. I want to roll the red carpet for them because they're my bread and butter. They're the ones that are constantly giving me my business. They're, constantly keeping me top of mind, giving me referrals. So I'm doing a wine and cheese client VIP appreciation event. And what I did was, in the 3 months' time, I first thought, okay, first, what do I want to do? Who do I want to do this for? And I said, you know what? I want to do my first event of the year for my VIP. I want them first, because they are my VIP. What am I going to do? I want to wine with them. That's what I want to do. I want to do wine. I go, so, okay, let's just do wine and cheese. So what I did was, okay, I figured out what I wanted to do. Then I decided, where am I going to do this? Where am I gonna have the event that's gonna hold the capacity of what I wanna do? Who can accommodate what I want to do? Because I had a plan in my head, and I planned it all out. And then I thought to myself, okay, I gotta have a budget. Because it's not, you know, it's not a cheap thing to do something like this.
Yeah.
You have to have a budget. And then I thought to myself, how am I gonna leverage this to lower my costs to help me have a very successful event? Your business partners, the people you do business with, your lenders. They're always there helping you, you know, with your clients, your title, your escrow, your NHD, any other things that you do that you utilize for your businesses. I do Cutco, so I've contacted all of them, and I actually invited to my events as well. So they're coming. Also, for me with my event, they're the ones that are donating gift baskets for the drawing, giveaways, or whatnot. And my lender is helping me pay for half of it. I asked him, I go, how much would you be willing to spend on a client appreciation event? He goes, well, how much are you willing to spend? And I said, I would be willing to spend $1,500. He goes, okay, I'll match that. He goes, our budget is $3,000. So that's our budget. So then I thought to myself, well, I don't want to just have the event. I want to have some giveaways too. So that way my clients are going to go home, you know, with some prizes and stuff. I want to incentivize my people to come. You know, so we got giveaways, you know, so I have a gift giveaway from both my lender and myself, and then I've got drawing giveaways from my affiliates that are helping out as well. And then of course, after the event, I'm gonna gift them, because we've got 5 wines that we're gonna be taste testing. At the end, they're gonna pick which one's their favorite, and I'm gonna send them home with a bottle of wine of their choice. That's my giveaway to them, you know, at the end. So that way they have some, the key is that I'm creating an event where they're gonna have some fun, they're gonna learn something, you know, about wine. Maybe they'll become wine drinkers, maybe not. And then I will be able to have the opportunity to mingle with them and engage in conversations, catch up with them. Not just be the agent to close or thank you for the referral. I want to reward them for their good behavior, for being repeat business, being my referral machines, being my influencers, my everything that they do to help me grow my business. I want to treat them like gold and then give them something to last forever, which is the memories. I'm telling you, most agents don't do these kind of things. That was one of the biggest ahas that I thought when I went to some of the classes that I've been going to at the Fountain Reunion. The top agents over there at some of those offices, teams and top agents, all they do is events. They don't do nothing else. They said they don't have to do anything else.
They
They
do
don't
4
want to.
events a year.
They do 4 events a year because guess what? 4 events and then 9 touches per event. 9 times 4 is 36.
How fun.
Yeah, and having
So
fun.
now that's all I want to do is have fun with my clients. And every time I call them, I'm not calling them, who do you know that needs to buy or sell or invest in real estate? I'm calling them because I'm inviting them to have some fun with me. And the rest is magic. Because guess what? Here's more stuff that I want to share with you with the event that I'm doing that is going to happen in 2 weeks. As I did my invitations, I have my 9 touches for the event. The first one was the phone call. They don't answer. I don't want to leave a long voicemail for each one. I already had a pre-recorded voicemail that I can text them. So I texted them that voicemail if they didn't pick up. Then I created a Facebook invite, private event, to have them go. Within 24 hours, I had 14 people RSVP'd. They didn't respond to my phone calls, but they responded to my RSVPs on Facebook. So I got all excited. Like, oh my gosh, I got 14 people already in 24 hours. 48 hours, I get 2 phone calls on the same day. One of my past clients that did an RSVP said, hey Joy, I just wanted to let you know the timing could be perfect. Number 1, I'm so excited to go to your event. But guess what happened to me today? What? What happened? She goes, I was in the parking lot at school picking up my kid, and some lady remembered me that I was in real estate, but I'm not in real estate anymore because, I'm a new mom. And we were talking, they were asking me, hey, weren't you a realtor? And she goes, I am taking time off because I have a brand new baby, but I can tell you who is going to be a great agent for you. My agent that sold me my house. And she goes, you need to call my agent and she'll help you, help you with your real estate needs. She goes, well, I need to sell, I need to buy. She goes, you need to call my girl, she will help you. And so anyway, she says, you're going to get a phone call from somebody at school that was in the parking lot. you know, we were talking, and she thought I was still selling real estate. So guess what? My person that I know is going to go to you for a business. She goes, you're going to have business. So I called and talked to the person, and she says she's going to list with me and she's going to buy with me because guess what? They had a horrible experience. They were listed with another client, another agent that never sold the home, and it was Los Angeles Realtor. Los Angeles Realtor that didn't have them on the MLS up here. It was an MLS down there, overpriced, didn't know anything, and didn't do anything. Didn't do any open houses, because guess what? They live too far away, Orange County. Didn't do any marketing up here, guess what? You know, it was a secret listing. There was even no sign in front of the house. So that agent failed to sell the home, and guess what? I'm going to get a future listing. And that was all from one of my own invites from my event that I'm having. The second call I got on same day was actually the husband of the wife that referred me a person that had whatever it is. He's a police officer. He goes, hey Joy, he goes, my partner needs to buy a home. I'm like, wow, that's great. He goes, here's the thing. He wants a brand new home, and guess what? He went to both of the builders, but now he doesn't know what to do because he's talking to both builders, and I'm not thinking, oh my God, he already went to the builders without me. So, okay, let me have this conversation anyways. Let me see where this is gonna go. You know, so I had the conversation. The buyer went to both builders. I know both builders because I'm an escrow with both builders. So I have a relationship with the salespeople already at the builders. That's very important, guys. And he didn't know what to do because he's caught up between two houses. You got deals with this one. You got this on another. I got the wife that likes this one. You got this one. The husband likes the other, and he doesn't know what to do. And he feels like he was not getting the conversation that he wanted to hear from both builders' salespersons. So he wanted my opinion. And I said, listen, I go, it's unfortunate that I didn't get to join you on your first visit to both builders. I go, but this is what I'm gonna do. Which one do you like the most? He goes, I like the one at D.R. Horton. I said, okay. I go, do you have an offer on, did you write an offer on one of the homes that you like? He goes, I'm going back and forth with an offer with the D.R. Horton house. I'm like, okay. He goes, but my wife really doesn't like that, and we're having a baby, and I think she's gonna kill me if I get this house, and I think I need to go back to this house, and I don't know what to do. I'm caught up with, trying to get committed to this one builder, and then my wife really likes this one. I go, let me make a phone call. Let me make a phone call to the sales agent, who happens to be one of the senior agents over at the builder, and let me make a phone call. Let me see if I can negotiate myself to get back in, to be your agent to represent you and get you to go over to that one. Let me see what I could do. So I called the builder, and I said, hey, Lori, I just want to let you know that, oh gosh, I had a client that came in that went in without me. And, they really want this house, but they're not quite sure. They have an offer out with going back and forth with the D.R. Horton and whatnot. And she goes, well, I really can't help you, get you a commission because you would have had to have been here with the first visit. I said, I know, I realize that. I go, but hey, he didn't make that offer yet and sign that contract with the D.R. Horton. Help me help you sell a house. That's what I said.
Wow.
And she said, okay, don't tell anybody this. She goes, let me guess, is it so-and-so that's trying to buy? I'm like, yes. She goes, I met the whole family. Yeah, wonderful family. Blah, 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 blah. I haven't even met the family. I'm fitting, okay? Wonderful family, blah, 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 blah. He works with my clients, they're police, blah, 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 blah. And what she doesn't know, she isn't gonna hurt, because I'm trying to get my foot in the door so I can secure myself that commission, okay? And she goes, I'll tell you what, if you can convince them to come back and circle back to me and get in a contract, she goes, I might just add you to the registration card. I still have your business card sitting on my desk, and get you your 3%. She goes, so if you can convince them and pull them over my direction, she goes, the commission is yours. You're gonna have to earn it. And I said, okay. She goes, and if they want the house, she goes, guess what? You're gonna have to go over the entire building contract with them and get them to sign it, and you're gonna earn that commission. I'm like, okay. So I called her up. I said, okay, I got them committed to going to the builder. They want the home. She goes, great. I'll go ahead and type it up. She goes, and I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to go over the 180 pages. with the client. And if you can get them to sign it, the commission is yours. 4 hours later, because my client wanted to read every 180, he goes, do we have to be on the phone for this entire 180 pages? I'm like, no, text is fine. Text is fine. And, oops, I don't know what happened there. And I said, text is fine. And he said, "Oh, okay. So we texted each other for about 4 hours straight, and we went through the entire contract. That started around 5 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, he signed the contract. I signed the contract. I texted the agent. It was already after hours. She wanted her 2 days off. She didn't want to have to come in and sign it. And she made sure that I earned my commission. And I did. I'm getting paid. I put my foot in the door, you know, and I'm earning that commission, and we're going to be closing next week. So that's just showing you all the things of, like, you know, following up. That's all based on that. That is all based on that event that I'm having. I haven't even had the event yet. And I already have an escrow closing next week from the event I have from one of my VIPs that is coming to my event, and that I'm showering all of my love, you know, and they're already helping me, they're already feeding me business. It didn't end there. I had more leads from my own clients. One of them also, another one wants to possibly buy and sell, and move out of state. So by the time my event is going to be done, I will probably have several closed transactions from just that one event, and that's going to be the 9 touches that I did. Obviously, my 9 touches included a phone call / text, voice message, followed by a Facebook invite, followed by engagement on Facebook, snail mail invitation, an actual real invitation, followed by, I'm now on my 7th touch. There's going to be going a text message to remind them about the event. I can't wait to see them.
How many people do you normally host?
So this one I invited 85 people, and I have so far 52 people coming. 52 people coming. There might be a few more that might be at the tail end, because not everybody, you know, responds to these things. So I'm going to be very aggressive this last week to get my final head count, because I have to get my final head count, you know, for the business owner. And also so I know how much charcuterie that I need to get made, you know, for my clients. So I'm doing not just the wine, but I'm also doing charcuterie, you know, for them. And then I'm having cupcakes made as well. So, and then after that, then I will have I will send them a personal thank you card, and then the last touch, the 9th touch, will be an email of the video or photos that we have taken, because I am having my photographer and my videographer at the event. That's going to be capturing the moments that we have in our event to send them a momentum and a thank you. So that's my 9th touch for that. And my next event, as soon as I'm done with this, which is in 2 weeks, I'm going to immediately start planning for my next event. And that one will be for everyone. It will be for my client, all of my clients and their kids, and we're going to do bowling night, so the kids can participate and be there. So that'll be my summer event that I'm going to have. So that'll be my next event that I'm going to do. But these are just some ideas of what you guys can do. You're going to have to create some sort of a system. A system that is going to have all of your touches for whatever it is, your 36 touch. You're going to have to come up with something that you want to do, a MOFR. You know, those are really easy to do. Our office is doing, are going to be planning events. So that way you can, you know, maybe participate in having your clients do some of these things. ALC is going to have some events, probably like a tax strategist or financial advisors. So that will be an opportunity for you to create a touch system and invite them.
Yeah, who is on the financial committee?
I'm on the financing committee.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you are the person I need to talk
I'm
to.
on the financing committee, yeah. So if you've got some idea or if you want to share something with me, definitely can talk to me about that. Yeah.
When is ALC doing the tax thing?
So the what?
The tax seminar or the event?
When are they doing it?
Yeah.
We don't have that a date yet. It's in the works. That will be
I
the
have some
opportunities
clients.
committee.
I have some business owners that will benefit from it, and I kind of wanted to do something like that, but if they have something scheduled, that would be
I
awesome.
know that our last meeting was last week, so they are talking and discussing on putting in the date and the location, so they gotta pick the venue, the location.
How do they make it aware to every agent? Is that every agent, or is that specific to a team? Or-
So I don't know if they're gonna do it for just agents, or if they're gonna do it for agents to bring other agents from other offices to our place, or if they're doing it for clients, for us to bring our clients to. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the
So,
one I'm interested
yeah.
in, where you
So,
can bring your clients.
Some of the events that we're gonna have is just for agents and outside agents, and then some of it is gonna be for our clients. What I'm thinking is the financing committee, what we're probably wanting to do is something for our clients. We'll put together a venue, a topic of discussion, and then that way agents from our office have the opportunity to invite their clients over to the event to listen to the panel of the guest speakers.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that we wanna do. And this will help with our growth.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
this will help with your 36 touch that you're
So
gonna put
you don't
together.
know when it's happening yet?
No, no. We just had our actual first meeting last week. It's in the calendar, but it's gonna happen soon. Yeah, yeah. You'll see some events for agents only, and then for outside, agents, and then for our own internal clients as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what page I am on. Sorry. I think I clicked too many buttons. Change 24. We're not the same pages. I'm looking to see it, they're not even like the same pages. Okay. Craft a message. Use the 6 connection questions. Include a note for a make offer for immediate response. What kind of stuff would you feel like you could do to create what kind of a MOFR do you think you guys could do like right now? What would you say you could do right now to create a two-way conversation? Any ideas?
Okay, if it's an open house, normally the people who visit the open house is potential buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's an open house, and I feel that I build the connection with them right there.
Mhm.
I offer a free home inspection certificate if they go with me on the purchase of the house.
Mhm. So what do? Do you announce that on?
No,
Do you send that out, or do you announce that on Facebook or something,
no.
or you just have it at the open house?
I just have it at the open house.
Okay, so you have like some kind of, is it conversation, or are you free home inspection?
I have like a flyer. Ask me how you can get a free home inspection on your purchase.
And there you go. Ask me how. That's part of your MOFR. You can go on Facebook, maybe create some kind of a message saying,
I still struggle with social media.
why? If you don't mind me asking.
For me, creating a post is never good enough what I put together,
Mhm.
so I prefer not to put it up there.
It takes time to do.
And yeah, for me it's more easy just grab the phone, make calls, and talk to my clients. It's like that's the only thing I know how to do good.
Mhm. However,
Yeah, it's
you
more
need to
that.
be relevant.
Yeah.
And we live in the world of technology. I mean, honestly, we're going to be living in the world of AI.
Yes.
And that is something that I'm very uncomfortable with because I have been doing this for 26 years. I came from a world of prehistoric times. When I first started real estate, we barely got the big computers with the big modems. We barely got the multiple listing services. We had the catalogs with all of the houses that, what is for sale. We had fax machines to send offers, or you had to personally drop them off. There was not really an email thing.
I remember those days on the 2000s when I learned how to use the fax.
I had a pager. I had a pager and a payphone. I mean, I came from a world of the technology was coming out of the prehistoric times, and we were starting to go into the internet world.
Yeah.
So that's when I, was starting my business. So things were done much differently. So I remember the old ways and then the new ways. Now we're going to go into AI. And AI is everything. Let me tell you something. We had classes over at the family reunion about AI, and it just blew my mind. It just went like this.
Wow.
And I'm like, I think I need to go like 10 more classes just to get to know what the heck is. I mean, for the first time this week, I used ChatGPT to do my marketing remarks or whatever, because I'm normally like struggling like a half a day. What am I going to do to put my sentences together to describe my house on the MLS? I used ChatGPT for the first time this week, and I didn't realize how easy it was.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, really?
Well, I got all excited because I went to a Tom Ferry thing last week, and it was a lot of the topic was AI, because AI is going to be something that we all have to embrace now more than ever.
Yeah.
And so I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I did ChatGPT, blah, 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 whatever. And she goes, great job. Like, I can't believe how easy that was. But there's going to be a lot of that coming in. So I would say get used to technology. Now you need to start getting into the habit of being involved with technology. And I know you're saying that Facebook, social media is really hard. It's getting to the post. All you have to do is just do one. And then do it again and again, and then it becomes natural.
Yeah. Put personal stuff for me is easy. And like I've been creating this post, I'm gonna put there. I wonder how I gained 10 pounds when I keep a balance diet between tamales, gorditas, and cheese.
Right.
So personal stuff is easy for me, but create a post about my business, clothing, just listed, just sold. I don't know.
Just do it.
I
mean,
go to Canvas
even if
and
you're,
mess around with the boxes and
take a quick little video of you showing your property, standing behind your clients as they're walking in the house. Take a little video at your home inspections. You know, take a video if you're doing your final walkthrough.
Yeah.
Take a video or a photo of them you handing the key.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times that if people see you doing that, they're gonna say, "Gosh, she's so busy. She's like selling a lot of stuff." And it only has to be that one client. They don't need to know that it's the same client. The rest of the world, you know. The next thing you know, they're gonna think you're so busy.
And all your friends and family, they're gonna start liking it and loving it, and they're gonna support you.
Right.
Yeah.
Your family, your friends, your clients they want to help you. All you have to do is show them what you're doing, and they'll come running and helping you. Literally, it's true. It's real.
Gloria, I give you permission to use my $1.4 million social media mistake. So whenever you feel challenged, whenever you're just not comfortable and you don't want to do it, go, geez, I remember Sylvia, it costed her $1.4 million in sales. Remember I shared that story with you guys.
Yeah.
So just go back to that, and that'll be that motivation. Oh, I don't want to lose out on $1.4 million.
Yeah. I will say that for 16 years, I only served the Hispanic community that is Spanish.
Yeah.
So last year was my first year overcome that limited belief that I was not able to provide the service the people who doesn't speak Spanish deserve, because I feel that I'm gonna be short because of the very language. So last year was my first year. I said, okay, I don't wanna subject myself to that anymore. So every client, whatever speaks Spanish, speak English, I'm gonna serve them. And my heart was that the best service I got was for those people that didn't speak Spanish, because I focus more and make sure I was doing everything right.
Well, like they say, what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
One of the bold laws.
Yeah.
You had a question?
I'm sorry, did you give the definition of MOFA?
Yes.
Oh, it's right there.
Where?
Right up on there.
Make offer for immediate response. It's right there.
Item number 2.
Oh, now I see.
Yeah.
I guess I couldn't see for looking.
Okay, so we're talking about MOFR. So yeah, you could also maybe go on social media and say, want to know what's happening in your neighborhood? Give me a call. Just simple little things, little sayings. Want to know what's happening with interest rates right now today? What did the feds do? Give me a call. You know what I mean? All you have to do is make it simple and engage in a conversation. If you're trying to engage in a conversation, see who's gonna pick up, because eventually, all those little tiny little things that you're trying to put out there, eventually it'll come back, and somebody will actually text you, message you, call you, and say, hey, I'm interested. We should mention about that. CMA, you wanna know what the value is in your neighborhood, what the value of your home is? Give me a call, let's connect, you know, so those little tiny mofers are very important. I wanna say you wanna do those, like, I wanna say you should do those weekly. Find a way to implement that into your social media, you know, find a way to make that a part of your conversations with your activities of open houses or door knocking, you know. You gotta give them something to wanna come back to you, you know, to generate that relationship. Okay. Develop your 36 touch plan. So what I want you guys right now to do is take about 10 minutes to think of ways of how to develop like a 36 touch plan that you want to do, whether it's events or whether it's, you know, whatever it is, an educational thing that you want to do for your clients, a seminar or whatever it is. Take 10 minutes of what can you do right now that you're going to implement in your business with a 36 touch, and then we'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay? You guys can talk to each other if you want to, team up together if you want to, or work alone.
So what I'm doing is, like I mentioned, I'm putting, you know, my contacts, you know, previous open houses that I never reached out to. So, as I put them in, I follow, do the phone call, and if they don't answer, I leave a voice note. And then I send a text, and I say, I like, 7 days out, and say, I would like to follow up with you this week. Last week, what happened? So when I put a task that reminds me that this week I gotta do the call. So it's taking me time to do it, but I'm already programming myself. And I find that in my experience, by doing that, it removes some of the fear. It removes some of the fear of calling, because I actually have a task to do. I just follow the task and do it. So that's the problem. I just have so many that I haven't reached everybody, and I have other activities. But I think my plan will work because I'm doing all those things in the first step, and I'm programming my follow-up. And again, that plan is based on the only way I can do that. Before then, when I was using it, so whenever somebody came and said, so the same is okay, I need you.
I've done signatures on the very beginning of my time.
And then I put it in a different thing. That's what
I thought about maybe you to mail messages, but I can tell you this. A lot of our cities actually have for instance,
sometimes it's not very passive. But you can get more how you like it. So now it's where some people that have access to all this stuff. So I'm just saying, this is a better way. And then I rather than move forward and try to give me more information to put it back there. I think that's too valuable. Because that happens. And I get a message from the
maybe your lender
so
might have some kind of product.
that's how it will system. I have
Try to do something around or something like that. Or maybe you can take, but some places have different, that they put it all in one.
Okay.
They all have templates. So I would probably start with them, because that'll help you, you know, you're not having to spend time, you can piece it together with the program. And this will give them an idea of how they want to do You show that you're relevant other than just someone else's, anyone that I don't know, something that has to do with their home. So I would start with one of them girls. I don't know, do you have a preference for who you use? Do you like Dawn? Do you like Stacy? Let's do Do you have a newsletter or
They are not there to take them out there. And if you know that it's a new program in the area, I text them with the
Summer's coming, do you have something about air conditioning you can share?
I use him for the sustainable buyer or for down payment assistance that I think you should take advantage of. Here is the information.
Send me an
Let me
email.
share with you the experience.
I mean, I knew that, I'm sorry, I can't call her, I hate that,
It
cause
took me 2 years after the opening.
she retired.
I was not reaching out, I was not that kind of man, you know, where I reach out.
But
Make fun of lazy, I'm not a guy, but one day, she told me that a lady
If you're not
was
happy with the people that you have right now, don't be
and I
afraid to
went
charge
through this in my
them
head, and I said it to
services
everybody.
and have
I
comfortable
don't have my customer call me and say, I wanna buy it. And I listen, I'm not getting reading all the text that I
Okay.
and
I'm
stuff.
sure she'll have a lot of stuff to share with you.
Always gonna be
Talks about farming,
purchase, I started asking questions.
wonderful that you have.
What kind of loan I mentioned that if it's a loan, have
Sales
Hawaii,
prices and
you care
interest rates
about.
and talk about
Dumping the
pricing.
system, said, no, I got 6% down.
What if payments are
Anyway, like that.
right there?
Just from making that, I believe that we call a home run. I offer something, and so I get it. With the audience, is that if somebody is not doing anything, just looking, then what we more to see what you're doing.
And then that's just our man. He can use that for information.
Yeah, so it's very important to stay in touch.
Yeah.
And he can put his,
So that would be a good way to make a
Yeah, I would say, keep the road open.
I did get that one, but then on for the sake of because I want to give you credit for it. Whatever you want. Or even if you want to just use this to say yeah, it would be good. It's a little inspiring for everybody. I'm trying to get one from every instructor. Or honestly, just go ahead, go natural, and I'll report it. Usually that's what I do. I don't ever give anybody a fair warning, but since you had a good teaching right now, because they're talking, I was like, well, maybe I should preface. I was like, I should preface this with something.
I didn't mention before because a lot of buyers get having more thinking that, yeah. But I just want to say that they
Honestly, just read. Just resell it. Yeah.
and you like
How you really, I'll know when to record.
so, you don't like it, so I have here. You don't wanna go to, you wanna go to the engineering.
You're right on track.
Send the app to them.
I can show it to you, so you don't have to call up the agent. You just get the information from the
That's what I
Your name needs to have this one.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you know where you can go to somebody for it. It should have some.
And, like, last Sunday, I saw
I would send you to the Red Sox, but just send them to the
Yeah, that's fine.
Take care of it.
I'm gonna break it early because we do have an office meeting after this and we only have about 15 more minutes. So we're gonna get through this chapter.
so you should have like even cover the phone, we're like open it up.
So, goal setting to the now. So do you guys have any ahas from this little breakout session? What did you guys come up with today, right now, with this 36 touch plan? Do you have a plan? Or at least starting a plan?
So I think for me, in having the conversation amongst Menendez Realty Group, Alex just got licensed last month, right? So it's brand new. So the aha was maybe not so much hey, everybody, this is me, this is what I've done, you're all invited, come and let's have a good time.
Right.
And that'll get that, start that.
Then I suggested a big picture of me.
Go for it, Alex.
Right, right. Well, the important thing is to put it together and have fun with it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more you do these things and make it fun to have all of your leads and whatnot, it's just going to really help your business. You're building your foundation, you're building your relationships, you're nurturing your relationships to the point where, you know, that trust is there, and then you'll have them as long as they'll have you, you know, so it's very, very important to know. Okay. So we've talked about our ahas. How has this changed your thinking?
There is many opportunities to reach out to our clients, to grow a database, to make more contacts. It's not just one way, it's multiple ways. And we have to choose what is the best fit for us.
Right. And don't be afraid don't just give up either. You know, if you do it once, don't say, oh gosh, that didn't work. I mean, you might have to try and
Good.
try and try and try again until you actually find what's going to click and work. And then in those moments when you're trying to do something, you might have to tweak something. You learn from your mistakes. You fail forward. And that's all I have to say is just don't give up, just keep going, and eventually something will click and it'll fall into place. How do you feel differently about what the meaning of what was meaningful to you today? Anything?
Put our clients to work for us.
Right. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I put my clients to work for us. I mean, basically, I'm asking for their business. I am not afraid for asking for referrals.
No, I don't either.
I'm not afraid to ask for it. I mean, a lot of agents in this business, they're afraid to ask for referrals. Get comfortable asking for business. And, you know, they're either going to say they don't know anybody or they know somebody that's going to, you know, give you business and help you grow your business. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you guys take?
This year I planned my first event for Mother's Day. So I was thinking only pictures, but hearing you saying about the snacks, the things, the mingling, I think I'm gonna expand to that for that day.
Good. Now, what tools, models, or systems will you use, and how will they make you accountable?
Okay, I'm gonna use the first the call, then the text, send the invite, and
Implementing command,
yeah.
tags, putting your tags in there, organizing it, time blocking, taking some time
Okay.
in the morning.
Oh, but also, one thing that we share is that creating tasks to do the follow-up so that you don't forget. And then command has where you can have the text or the email you sent, so you know what you said last time, to kind of change it and don't be boring and say the same thing every time.
Right.
So that's why I love command, KW command for that. And the task, I was sharing with my team that, of my group, that helps me focus on what I need to do and just get that task completed. And it removes some of the fear by
Right.
doing so.
Right.
Because it's just a task. I don't see it like, don't think too much about it. Go ahead and call for so-and-so.
Yeah.
You know, say what you're gonna say, and then done, and follow up, and then do a recurring. So every month, I'm gonna follow up with that, or I put every month. I haven't done it.
Take
in
little
months.
notes, put little notes in there so that you remember what the conversation was.
Exactly.
You can circle back to that if
Yeah.
you need to.
And then I used to do the text through phone, very difficult to keep track, but I signed up with Twilio, which is not that expensive, it's only like $3 a month. You know, I paid that for Disney, you know, at home. So why not do it for business? That's really nothing.
Right.
And I can see the text that I sent, so I don't forget, I don't have to search through my phone, which is more difficult.
Right.
So I like that, so, yeah.
Okay, so daily success system. You've got 10 conversations, 10 contacts added, 10 handwritten notes, 10 to 5 1 social media engagement, and enrichments, which will lead to appointments, agreements, and closings. I know we sound like we're fast forwarding through this, but we do have an office meeting.
You're good on time so far. You're good so far.
Let's see here. These are just some of your things. And then, of course, don't forget, if they're on that do not, if you're not, then do not call, do not email this, email Consumer Protection Plan thing, Protection Act thing. I always, like I said, when I'm at open houses, I always ask for permission when they are giving me information. If you ask the permission to engage in that conversation, call them back, email them, then, I feel that that's a good start right there.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be like calling somebody that doesn't want to be called, and they probably won't even give you the information anyways. Or lie, be a secret person and lie, whatnot. Okay. So the real play activities in the classroom are money-making activities done with the support and guidance of you and the other participants. Every day is in Ignite. We will spend time in lead generation activity. We kind of did some I don't think we're gonna have time to do any role playings. We don't have 45 minutes to do lead generations here.
That means you guys gotta do 45 minutes of lead generation outside.
We don't have 30 minutes to do that, so we're gonna go ahead and celebrate our successes. We talked about Command and Connect. Prepare for your next session, session 13, qualify potential buyers and sellers. Do you guys have any ahas that you want to share? Or do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me before I let you go? This would be your chance right now to pick my brain about anything.
I already say my aha.
You got your ahas?
Yeah, I already say it. Put my hands to work for me.
Just think out the box a little bit. Don't get so rigid. Think out the box.
Yes. Yeah.
With what you doing, with the party and
Right.
all of that.
Yeah.
Come up with some creative ideas
Yeah.
that involve, social functions.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to have fun, right?
Especially with cheese and wine.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, wine and dine them.
Yeah.
That's-
And that's what they're thinking too. That she's whining.
Well, they're gonna get to see you on the outside of not just in the real estate transaction. They're actually gonna get to see you for who you are. Get to know you. Who is Gloria? They get to see Gloria, in a social environment and get to know you a little bit better. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. That's all we have for today.
One more over there.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Acia.
When you host your open houses, how do you continue with that follow-up? Because that's where I notice I, kind of fall off. Because I think I'm good with hosting open houses, getting people's info, connecting with them, and then I'll follow up like once or twice after. But then after I'm like, after the second time, I don't know what else to follow up with. So how do you continue that follow-up?
When you call them, are they picking up the phone or are they ignoring you?
Sometimes they do. It kind of depends on how much I connected with them, I guess. But-
Do you have you tried more texting instead since it's less?
Yeah, I've definitely tried texting. I think I've done more texting than phone calls.
Right.
Like I've definitely done phone calls, but sometimes I get a little scared to pick up the phone and call. So
Right.
I'll send a text.
Sometimes what I do is I re-invite them over, to the same open house, or I'll invite them to another house,
Okay.
to come by, maybe because that house may not have been the right fit for them.
Okay.
Give them the opportunity to come see you one more time. Do you host with a lender, or do you
No.
host by yourself?
Usually by myself, but I'm gonna start changing that.
So maybe what you could do is on the second, maybe if you're trying to get them to come back in and get them back on board with you, host an open house that has a lender sitting in with you, and then have that conversation. Hey, I got a lender, that's going to be sitting in with me at this open house, and we've got this wonderful loan product that just rolled out, or we have this wonderful loan product that we can kind of go over. Maybe it might be something that works for you, and talk a little bit more about that. That way you can get them to come in, you know, to have that conversation with you that might strike their interest, because maybe they might be one of those buyers that don't have a whole lot of money that would love to know more about the down payment assistance programs or whatnot. Give them something to come back to picking up that phone or re-engaging with you by having something like that, and offer something for them to come back around, and then just keep at it, you know, and just keep on re-inviting them, letting them know about things, send them, you know, you're gonna spend a lot of time building and nurturing relationships, trying to create relationships with your leads. That's the thing. It's a lot, but you know, you can convert them into transactions and clients, and sometimes it takes months. And sometimes it takes years. I actually closed a transaction 8 years later after somebody coming to my open house.
Wow.
And that just tells you, like, not everybody's on the same timeline, but they're out there just out of curiosity of knowing what was happening. And maybe there are certain circumstances they're not ready yet then. But 8 years later, I get the phone call. After all the time that I've been staying in touch with them, I get a phone call and we're ready to finally buy.
Wow, yeah. I'm still in touch with one person from my very first open house 2 years ago. So, but that's only one person. I could have, you know, had multiple people I'm still in touch with, but I'm not too good at following up, so kind of been losing out on that.
Right, yeah. Well, don't give up. You know, just like try to find creative ways, different ways.
I can supply a solution here. There's a smart plan for long-term nurture where all you need to have is their email address. You don't even need their cell phone number. I can help you find it. And what you do is you add the client to the smart plan, and it pretty much does the text message.
It does the hard work for you.
Yep. All you need to do is respond.
Once in a while, you can go in there too, and then, you know, be a personal touch. But yeah,
Exactly.
rely on technology.
You need to give us that plan.
Yeah, it's the long-term, it's called the long-term nurture on your libraries in smart plans. But we'll discuss how it functions and how to add people to it later. I don't want to take away from this, but that is the result. That is that answer.
Well, we'll definitely have to do that one. Yeah. Okay, anybody else have any other questions or anything else that you'd like to ask me?
No, how you keep
Let's
such
give
a
Joy a round of applause, everybody. All right, thank you guys for your time. We're going to get started on the office meeting in just a minute, okay?
And we're gonna have a lunch, so I have to go in there.
No, that's
What did he say?
I didn't need this, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Today.